Man, that boy Tommy Macdonald trash, boy. Man, that boy garbage. He can't even rap for real, man. That's what. Damn. Shit. Fuck. Whew. Oh, Jesus. Good God. Whew. Fuck, that hurt it. My bad, y'all. I was just tripping. What's up, guys? It's your boy Trippy here. Welcome back for another reaction video. This one's Tom Macdonald, Fake Woke. I looked all in the comment section just a minute ago and I was trying to find the people that recommend this video and I couldn't find it any fucking where. So I do apologize. But I also want to give a quick shout out to the people who have donated to my PayPal and Cash App. I'm trying to think of a way to, I can shout you out my next video, or if you want to keep it, you know, anonymous, we can, that's fine with me. But if you want a shout out, just let me know and I'll do a shout out in the next videos as well. And also I do want to give another shout out. I forgot their names, but I've had pretty good conversations so far down in the comment section of people that just want to hear my viewpoints, my perspectives. And I'm gonna drop one right here. And I just responded back to him, and I really appreciate him, you know, taking the time to really have an open dialogue and conversation about how I feel and my perspectives, so we can understand one another. And another one where I think we kind of disagreed. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna drop it right there because I appreciate the information, and I appreciate that they were also willing to have a conversation. Either we agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. We're just trying to have a conversation. So yeah, this one right here is Fake Woke. And I'm pretty excited to listen to this one because after listening to White Boy, it really had me thinking, you know, had me thinking a lot. So let's go ahead and check out Fake Woke by Tom Macdonald. And ooh, I'm excited. Let's get it.
I think it's crazy I'm the one who they labeled as controversial, and Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls. There's
Woo! He coming out hot. Okay, he's spitting facts out the gate. I mean, honestly, he is labeled. When I first started listening to Tom Macdonald, you can check out my first video. I said I'm not that big on Tom Macdonald because some things I agree with, but sometimes I think it's too controversial, and I thought he was reaching. So, but after all the guys in the comment section, they educated me. They said, hey man, you just need to understand this person. After, for me, going down this Tom Macdonald rabbit hole, I guess you can say, I'm starting to learn a lot, and I'm starting to appreciate him more as an artist, and I'm starting to appreciate like what he's doing. And after watching the pre-shoot to White Boy, I started to respect him a lot more as an artist because he's opened the door for conversation. And the biggest thing is you don't have to agree with him, but he's getting people talking. If you don't believe me, check my comments down on my videos. We have open discussions and conversations, you know, so I love it. But off the gate, he's spitting facts. I mean, like, Nicki Minaj is a role model, or not, or I think he said Cardi B. Well, either way, like, but same shit. I mean, same shit. He's already starting out with facts, man, out the gate. Let's get back into it.
rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it. It's backward.
Back to back bars, back to back. I mean, that's facts, dude. I'm really, don't get me wrong, like, I love the music, like, not the ones that's like, you know, trying to like popularize drugs and shit like that, but I love the music at the top of the billboards, the ones, you know, you know, with the dope ass beat, they're talking about, you know, drugs and all that shit. Yeah, like, it's dope to listen to, but you gotta realize there's a whole generation of kids that are listening to this shit, you know, and it's at the top of the billboards. It's all over TikTok or whatever is popular, like, and like, you gotta understand, like, the message you're sending out to these kids, because it's not just adults listening to this shit. You got fucking 10-year-old, 12-year-old kids, you know, doing that shit. And I said it in one of my last videos, like, I see the effects of, you know, pushing drugs, like, especially pills, man, Xanax and perks, man. I saw it within the young community from where I'm from, where they love doing that shit, man. They'll pop a pill, 2-3 pills a day, and go about their business, or popping Xanax like crazy and go about their business. Like, look, if you're grown, you can do what the fuck you want to do, but the biggest thing, people have to realize that this is faking kids, like, and I've seen it, so it's just a sad truth, and I hate that. But yeah, it is kind of crazy how, you know, this is okay, but talking about the things that matter is not okay. Do you know why it's not okay? Because they don't want you talking about these things. They want you to especially in the black community, like, if I want to be real, like they want, you know, us to be pushing these type of things into our community. Like, they don't want unity, man. They don't want unity. And that's one thing I believe Tom Macdonald's doing. That's something we all can agree on, whether you're black, white, or whatever. It's one thing that they do not want unity, no matter what the fuck they say. If they did, then we wouldn't have fucking so many different political parties, so many different, you know what I mean? So, I mean, but yeah, he's spitting facts once again, and we're only 13 seconds in the fucking video. All right, let's get back into it.
It's getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump. We're ashamed.
Woo! All right, so you watched one of my first videos. I've heard that bar right there before, just that one line, because I said that I felt like he was trying to come at Eminem, and honestly, back then I said he was doing it for not necessarily clickbait, but I guess you can say that, views or whatever, but knowing, you know, his backstory and knowing what he's trying to do, I can see why he said that. I understand why he said that now. So I like to apologize to, well, not just, you know, the people, but, you know, Tom, for me being, for prejudging, you know, so I just had to clarify that. Let's go and get back into it.
To be American, you should probably love it, cause you have the right to hate it and not get stoned to death in public. As children we were taught how to walk and talk, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up. Cancel culture runs the world now, the planet went crazy. Label everything we say as homophobic or racist. If you're white, then you're privileged, guilty by association. All our childhood heroes got Me Too'd or they're rapists. They never freed the slaves, they realized that they don't need the chains. They gave us tiny screens, we think we free cause we can't see the cage. They knew that race war would be the game they need to play. For people to big teams, they use the media to feed the flame.
Woo!
They so fake woke. Facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what to believe in. They so fake woke. Same old safe zones. They so fake woke. Facts don't care about your feelings. I think it's crazy.
Woo! Hey, I fucks with that chorus. Hey, I'm starting to... Yeah, I know I'm not the biggest Tom Macdonald fan on hooks, but I fuck with that chorus. That chorus was good. It was catchy. They so fake. Whoa, I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, that's facts, man. Like, cause there's really not even much to break down within his lyrics. Like, because like you heard what the fuck he said. Like, and I'm just telling you, like, he's spitting straight facts. Like, straight fucking facts. And I completely agree with everything he's saying so far. 100%. Like, they are fake woke. Like 100%. But yeah, let's not get back into it.
Crazy how these people screaming facts, but they fake woke. Hate their neighbor cause he wears a mask or he stays home. Has a daughter, but his favorite artist said he slays hoes. Picks her up from school, music slaps on the way home. Censorship's an issue cause they choose what they erase. There's a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. I think Black Lives Matter was the stupidest name, when the system's screwing everyone exactly the same. I just...
Ooh. Let's talk about that one for a second. All right, so, all right, whew. Ooh, that one's tough. That was tough. Because, all right, let me start off by saying this. Let me start with this. Black Lives Matter. Like, I think, honestly, I'm gonna speak honestly. I'm not for Black Lives Matter. I'm not for the organization. All right, for the people that don't know, there's people within the black community that, all right, there's two sides. You have Black Lives Matter, the organization, and then you have Black Lives Matter, the movement. Two separate different things, two completely separate different things. For us, maybe, I mean, for y'all, it might be the same, but for us, two separate different things. Now, let me be honest with y'all. People within the black community, we know that Black Lives Matter is not, how can I say this? Like we know who's full of shit and who's not full of shit. Let's just say that. Like, let's just put it that way. Like, honestly, like this, I look at Black Lives Matter the same way I do with the Democratic Party. I feel like the Democratic Party, like, they haven't really done anything for black people, but they use how can I say this? They use the pain, you know, from black people and try to say, oh, we'll do this for you, or we'll do that for you, or we're going to change this, but nothing fucking changes. Like, we're still having the same conversations that my grandparents had fucking in the 60s and 50s. We're having the same conversation. So what are you really doing to help us? Black Lives Matter. What are you really doing to help us? Besides, like that one lady, the fucking, I don't know if she was the founder, but she just bought a fucking multi-million-dollar fucking compound. But I know she came out and said that she has other ways of money, but that's fine. But this is how you spend your money when Black Lives Matter dumps all their money into pushing Joe Biden into office. And what has Joe Biden done for us? Not a damn thing. Like I said in my last video, or one of my last videos, that Joe Biden, he fucking went on a Breakfast Club and he told Black Americans, you're not black if you don't vote for me, right? He did that and he said that, but he has done nothing really that we've asked. Like, the Democratic Party has never done anything that we asked. Like, they give us tokenism. Like, oh, we gave you a street that says Black Lives Matter, I hope this helps. No, that's not going to fucking help. Oh, well, we done this and we done that. You're not doing what we asked. And it's so simple. It's so fucking simple. But, Joe Biden can't, I find it odd how within, don't get me wrong, like, no race of people or nobody should be discriminated against, or they should get no hate towards them just for the way they look and their race. But why come, within 3 months of office, he already signed an executive order for like the Asian hate bill or whatever, or hate crime. He already signed an executive order against that to make it, criminal offense to hate against Asians. But black people have been asking like since the 60s or forever really for the anti-lynch, trying to get lynching, the same type of a criminal charge or some type of, felony offense or something. Like, so basically, like, it's not okay to hate against Asians, but it's okay to be lynching black people, no problem. Like, we've been asking for this for forever, but we can't get that. But the Asian community goes through a year, they've been dealing with racism for forever, but out in the open, like on the scale it's been today for a year because of the coronavirus, they dealt with it for a whole year, and Biden gets in office and he instantly changes that. Like, that is not a problem that he did that. I just think you can't fucking say, oh, well, you're not black, you don't vote for me, but you're not doing anything for your black voters. So you're fake. That's fake as fuck, and I don't appreciate that. And he also said he's going to try to cancel out student debts, and then after a month in office, he said he's not doing that. So it's like, dude, you pretty much lied your way in office. So I don't agree with the Democratic Party, I don't agree with the Republican Party, and I also don't agree with Black Lives Matter. Like, I don't at all, because like I said, they're not doing anything for us. So I do kind of agree with what he's saying right here, but are we all fucked equally? Yeah, like we do get fucked by the same system. Like, and I do agree with that, but do I think it's equal? No, I don't think it's equal. I think some people get hated on a lot more than others, and I'm not trying to take anything against other communities, but it's from my experiences and like what I see. Like, we just have a long way to go, for us to be united and come together. But yeah, that was tough. That was really tough. Like, but no, back to Black Lives Matter. I do agree with them. I don't fuck with Black Lives Matter. I do think it was stupid, not necessarily stupid, because I like how there is a movement to fight against racism. Should we do that? Yes. But I don't think the people in charge of this movement should be in charge of the movement. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're just benefiting off of black pain and black deaths across the country. Like, and you can look into this. Like, Breonna Taylor, the mother of Breonna Taylor, even said that Black Lives Matter has not done nothing really for her. Like, and all this money they done generated off of Breonna Taylor's name, they can't. You know what I mean? They can't. I don't know. I don't want to go deep into that, but yeah, there's a lot of fake woke or fake organizations out there just trying to get a buck, and I feel like the organization Black Lives Matter is one of them. Not the movement, but the people in charge. Like that. Like, I don't fuck with them at all. Like, I don't. Even like I have clothes from black websites. And because when I buy clothes now, I only buy places like I only buy clothes from black stores because I want to generate the black dollar and putting wealth in black communities. And Black Lives Matter is the biggest one, and I am not spending $1 on Black Lives Matter. You know, the organization. I'm not buying any of their clothes. I go to other small websites online. I don't even think about going through them, and that's why, because I know they're full of shit. I knew it from the beginning. I knew it from the fucking beginning. They're full of shit. But yeah, let's not get back into it because I don't want to go on a rant too much on that. But I do agree with what he's saying, like partially, just partially. But let's get back into it.
Wanna spend Thanksgiving Day with food in my family without being accused of celebrating native casualties. We got so divided, it's black and white and political. Republicans are bigots, libtards if you're liberal. There's riots in our streets and it's just getting worse. Y'all screaming deep on the police, y'all a genius for sure. They're underfunded already, they're way too busy to work. Order food and call the cops, see what reaches you first.
Ooh, okay, this is the first time I'm gonna have to really disagree with Tom Macdonald. The police are really overfunded, like a motherfucker. Like, they have way too much fucking, their budget is way too fucking high. Now, when people say defund the police, it's not, when I say it, it's not like abolish the police. Like, we need police, like, and we need law enforcement. That's not what they're saying. What they're saying is, I think people don't understand, but what all they're asking is to stop pumping all this money into law enforcement and pump it into things that are actually needed, like that can help the community. Like, I don't know, schools. You can help out smaller public schools in inner cities, but they don't want to do that. You can make schools better. You can make the community better. More things for the youth to get them off the streets. More things for, you know what I mean? All types of shit you can do instead of dumping the money into the police. Like, there's no reason, when you saw that riot shit, there's no reason the police should have all them damn tanks and all types of shit. There's no reason they should have tear gas. Like, tear gas is very unconstitutional to use against the American people. Like, I just want to throw that out there. Like, but yeah, I do think the police is very overfunded. Like, they don't need all them resources. Trust me, their budget does not need to be that damn big, and they're spending their fucking. I've seen fucking like cop cars. They're like fucking brand new Corvettes and like fucking, like, you know what I mean, Camaros and shit. You don't need that. I've seen fucking Crown Vics keep up with fucking Hellcats. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need all that shit. You don't need the luxury of being law enforcement. Excuse me. But yeah, that's one thing I have to disagree with Tom on that one. Yeah, I have to disagree. But I did like in the end he said which one, you know, you can call some food or call police, which one get there first. You know, I do agree with that. But yeah, I think we should defund the police. Honestly, there might be people that don't like that. All right, that's fine. That's your opinion. But like, people forget, like, my background. Like, I've been in law enforcement. Like, not the civilian side, but in the military. Like, I understand law enforcement more than anything. And I'm telling you, we do not need all that shit. Like, we don't, like, at all. But yeah, that's one thing I had to disagree with Tom with. Hate to say it, but yeah, let's go get back into it.
Segregation ended, that's a lie in itself. That was a strategy to make us think they were trying to help. They knew that racism was hot if they designed it to sell. We buy up every single box and divide us ourselves.
They so fake woke. Facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what to believe in. They so fake woke. Same old safe zones. They so fake woke. Facts don't care about your feelings.
We use violence to get peace and wonder why it isn't working. That's like sleeping with a football team to try and be a virgin. Politicians are for sale and someone always makes the purchase. But you and I cannot afford it. Our democracy is worthless.
Let's break that one down real quick. All right, so he said using violence to, protest or whatever, and wondering why it's not working. I'm paraphrasing what he said. I do agree with that. I do agree partially with protesting. I feel like it's really difficult, because there is really no right way to protest. I mean, because look at it this way. Before I say anything, I do not agree with looting. I do not agree with rioting. I do not agree with that. But at the same time, when you have people, a race of people that have been protesting the same shit since the fucking beginning, and nothing is changing, you're going to get fed up. Like, you're going to get tired. Like, you gotta understand, the black community is tired of seeing this shit. Like, we're tired of being shown almost on a global scale that our lives do not matter. Like, if you like, it's facts. And I say this in my videos in the past, you just gotta look into the history of what the black community has dealt with in America, and it's a lot of bullshit. Like, people don't know, like, one of the first bombings in the U.S. happened in a black city, like in Philadelphia. I believe it was Philadelphia. And then you have the Tulsa massacre that happened in like the 1920s or around that time. And then you have, like, there's multiple bombings that people need to look into that people do not even know about, and that's crazy, that we know about, but the people just don't know about it. We have so much shit that goes into that, like, into the protesting. Like, it's generational shit. Like, I'm dealing with the trauma from my parents and my grandparents. Like, it's DNA, it's genetics, man. Like I'm dealing with that shit. Like, have I dealt with, you know, slavery or anything personally? No, but I've seen the effects of it. Like, I'm from the South. Like, it's still there, alive in the day. But that's why people are angry. Like, they're mad. Like, and I think it's really messed up to try to tell people how to deal with their pain. Oh yeah, they killed somebody you know for no reason, no gun, blah blah blah. Well, you should do it this way. Well, what if that was your child? You will flip the town over and put the whole thing on fire. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you can't tell somebody how to deal with their pain. Like, are they doing it the right way? Who knows? Because you got Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Martin Luther King was about peace. Malcolm X was pretty much the more militant one, and he didn't care about violence. So I think just look at them two. Both of them are dead. And so I hate when people use Martin Luther King as an example, because he was assassinated and he was all about peace. Malcolm X also assassinated by his own people, but it just came out recently that the police were involved, but we kind of already knew that, because he was just too powerful. But yeah, man, like, you I think it's really, you know, messed up to try to tell somebody how to deal with that pain of dealing with we in the black community have dealt with for years and years and years on end, and nobody's listening. Sometimes you gotta make a motherfucker listen. Sometimes you gotta put something on fire and make a motherfucker pay attention. Like, one thing that really hit me was in Minneapolis. Somebody spray painted over the police department and it said, "Are you listening now?" And that, like, really touched me, because they're angry, they're upset, and nobody's listening. Like, people are focusing more on the looting and rioting and not why they're there in the first place. You're criticizing the fire, but you're not criticizing why it started in the first place. Like, I don't get that. Like, I really don't get that at all. Again, looting and rioting is bad, but at the same time, people can only take so much. Like, we see that being peaceful is not fucking helping at all. Peaceful is not working. And honestly, I agree with that. It's not going to work, because they're not listening. Like, I've seen people protesting peacefully and they still got shot with tear gas, rubber bullets, which is insane to fucking have. That you're just shooting in the crowd, people are losing their eyes. Like, people, like, dude, like, it's insane, man. Like, for people to be okay that to happen to another human being, like, it's just insane to me how people are okay with that. And, like, if you watch, there's video evidence, like, with all the George Floyd protests, there's video evidence, like, of police starting the altercations with the protesters. Now, let's talk about, you know, the different protests we had last year and even this year with people storming the Capitol. Like, look at the defense of the George Floyd protest and look at the defense of the Capitol. Like, that right there tells you that should have been an obvious sign right there that we are seen as different. If I don't know how people can see that and not, you know, not agree or not realize that we are viewed as different and we are treated different. Now, I'm not going to speak on whether the Capitol rioting was right or wrong, but I'm not going to speak about that. I'm just speaking on the treatment and the response. You get what I'm saying? There was hardly zero, not zero, but the police presence for the Capitol rioting wasn't as defensive as it was for the George Floyd protests. You know, it's kind of crazy how as soon as another black kid or black person dies, they're already in riot gear already. Like off the gate, they're in riot gear. You didn't see a lot of people in riot gear in the Capitol rioting. I mean, you did, but it was later on after they already done breached in the motherfucker. You know what I mean? So I think that right there should have told you, like, that was an obvious sign that that people do get treated differently, and that was obvious. Now, when black people went to the Capitol building, there was police presence all over the motherfucker. They couldn't get up the steps, like, you know what I mean? So I think that's something you need to realize. So, like I just said before, I think it's kind of messed up to tell somebody how to deal with their pain and try to tell people how to protest because they're hurt, they're angry, like, and they're not thinking. You're not thinking rationally. You just want to tear shit up because you're angry, and you don't know how to unleash that pain. Are there people out there who use the protest as a way to loot? Hell yeah, there's a bunch of them, and we know who you are. You know what I mean? So, but we're trying to tell you, the black community, most people in the black community are not cool with that, and it's mostly younger people who just don't give a fuck, or just, I'm not gonna put on the young people, but just people out there just trying to get a quick buck or trying to, you know, get something easy. You know what I mean? So it's like that everywhere. But yeah, I just went on a rant about that, but that's another thing I had to disagree with. Like, it's the protests. Like, yeah, man, just looking, like I said before, just look into the history and you'll understand why they're so angry. And that's all I can really say about it. Just look into the history, you will understand why they're so hurt and why they're violently protesting. Because being peaceful hasn't worked. It's 2021, I'm still talking about this and still having the same conversation. So, yeah, man, am I advocating for violence? Fuck no. But I do understand if it does come to violence. And why? Like, because nobody's listening. Like, sometimes you have to make them listen. Like, people talk about, you know, the protests we have here in America, but the French Revolution is like, you know what I mean? It's glorified to be one of the, you know what I mean? French Revolution was fucking brutal. Like, they would take fucking the people in power and put their head through the guillotine, and like people would celebrate and cheer. Like, that was a very brutal time, but that right there is celebrated. That revolution is celebrated. And we're not even having a revolution. We just want fucking equality. We just want somebody to listen. We can't even get that. Like, and we're getting shit on. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah, let's go and get back into it. We still got like a minute 30 left. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited to hear what he says, because most things he said in his track so far is facts. Because people are, a lot of fake woke motherfuckers out here, and I'm glad he's addressing it. I'm glad somebody has the balls to speak up and speak his mind so effortlessly. And, you know what I mean? And fight against the real people in charge, and the real people who are dividing us. And I'm glad somebody's doing that. So I do appreciate Macdonald for doing that. So let's get back into it.
Man has mental illness, call him crazy, say it silently. When country's going crazy, we accept it as society. Get sick and take a pill when the side effects get you high. You get addicted like these rappers dying, fighting with sobriety. Censoring the facts turns our children into idiots. They claim it's for our safety, I'll tell you what it really is. Removing information that empowers all the citizens. The truth doesn't damage points of view that are legitimate. They're trying to change amen to amen and women. How'd we let them make praying a microaggression? Instead of asking God for the strength to keep winning, we cheat to get ahead and then we ask him for forgiveness. Feminism used to be the most righteous of fights, but these days it feels like they secretly hate guys. I don't trust anyone who bleeds for a week and don't die. I'm just kidding, but everything else that I said is right.
They so fake woke. Facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what to believe in. They so fake woke. Same old safe zones. They so fake woke. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Hell yeah. I really fucks with that. Like I said, there's only two things I disagree with, but the bigger message, I loved it. Somebody had to say it, man. I love that Tom Macdonald is not afraid to say it, and he's not afraid to speak his mind, you know. And I really appreciate him for it, and I'm starting to appreciate every song or like his message and what he's trying to do, because every song I react to and I speak my opinions, one thing it does, it starts a conversation down in the comment box. and I'm loving it. And I can see, honestly, I can see in the next couple of years, or hopefully in the next like 5 to 10 years, I can see this turn out in a positive effect, not so a negative effect. I know he gets a lot of hate, I know he gets a lot of criticism or whatever because he's controversial, but it's starting a conversation. So I do enjoy it. I do agree with the majority of things he's saying because it's fucking facts. Do people like to hear this? Fuck no. But at the same time, like, truth hurts, motherfucker. Get over it. But yeah, this is Tom Macdonald, Fake Woke, and I really enjoyed this track. I'll probably give this track like, I'll give it another 7.5 out of 10 just for the message because it was dope as fuck, and it really touched me too. A lot of things he said. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe down below, and let me know what you think about this track. And I'm knocking out a couple more Tom Macdonald reactions because I have a lot to do because you guys have been showing me a lot of mad support and love. So I'm going to continue to keep going down this Tom Macdonald rabbit hole. So see you guys later. We out.